Hello, listeners, and welcome back. Today, we are going to be discussing Nobody Wants This. Nobody Wants This is a 2024 up and coming Netflix rom com that consists of 10 episodes and took the world by storm with leading stars as Adam Brody and Kristen Bell. We follow Joanne, played by Kristen Bell, the spontaneous, outgoing host of a sex podcast with her sister, and is just newly single. Noah, played by Adam Brody, is the handsome, funny guy who is well on his way to becoming the head rabbi of his church. Noah is also newly single. When Joanne and Noah meet, they instantly hit it off and realize very quickly that they both like each other. When the two start to date, their relationship is put to the test as they face jealous ex-girlfriends, meddling families, and two completely different lives. Joanne, like I said, is the host of a sex podcast and is recently single. She is very outgoing and spontaneous and is known for being quite wild at times, whereas Noah is a lot more funny and down to earth, and as I said, the rabbi to his church. The show is very heavily based not only around these two characters, but their relationship and their evolution of their relationship from when they first meet to when they begin dating, and then afterwards when they start to get to know each other and their friends and family. We watch them navigating, getting to know one another, how their lives fit together, even though they like one another, are still very different. We follow them trying to accept the approval of each other's friends. There is a whole episode dedicated to Joanna trying to connect with Noah's friends and also his friends' wives. We watch them navigate the acceptance of each other's families as well. Noah goes above and beyond to impress Joanne's parents, the way that Joanne also tries to impress Noah's parents. And then we also have the whole factor of the will they, won't they coming to Noah's religion. Due to Noah being a rabbi, he's always known to have been dating someone of the same religion, so now him dating Joanna has raised a lot of questions and concerns within his church, and may even jeopardize his future. What we like about Joanne and Noah's relationship. When Joanne and Noah meet, they are both just newly single and have just gotten out of long-term relationships, so they were never really expecting to jump into another relationship right away. But when they meet, they just take a real liking for one another and decide to go for it. Like I explained, they come from two completely different worlds. However, they don't seem to care and are still dedicated on making it work. They crave the approval of friends and family because of their dedication to one another. It was just a good relationship to watch. It was very funny. They were very witty towards one another and had good chemistry. The relationship that they portrayed was very supportive. They always supported one another in each other's fields and wants and needs, and a lot of that came with honesty. They were always very honest towards one another. Like when Noah noticed that Joanne was acting strange, so he pulled her aside and asked her what was wrong in order to help fix the problem. Or like when Joanne is suspicious about a box full of Rebecca's things, Noah's ex, so instead of rummaging through it, she just asks him what's in it and whose it was, therefore portraying that honesty in the relationship, which is good to watch as it portrays not only maturity but then also growth within themselves and towards their relationship. They did this a lot throughout the show, acted very mature, thought things out, and made very mature decisions, rather than the common theme on a lot of other relationship shows where they portray a lot of immaturity that is frustrating and not always needed. Side characters. First, we'll start with Rebecca. Rebecca is Noah's ex-girlfriend and comes off as very mean and jealous at first. There is one point that I believe she spreads a lie on purpose to come between Noah and Joanne. But by the end, you come to have understanding for her, as you know, it would be hard to see your ex newly with someone else, especially because she was so involved in his life and family and friends, and then just to be completely cut out of that and watch someone else be to step into it so quickly would be hard. It was also good watching the interaction between Joanne and Rebecca at the end of the show, as even though they still may not like each other very much, they have come to an understanding and a level of respect with one another, in the sense that Rebecca is always going to be involved with Noah, but understands that he is with Joanne now, just the way that Joanne understands that Rebecca is a part of Noah's history, but can sleep soundly knowing that Noah wants her. Next, we have Esther. Esther is Rebecca's best friend and married to Noah's brother. She comes off very demanding and controlling, and probably not totally likable to many. Although you come to see that one of the reasons that she is so controlling and demanding is that she is just passionate and protective of her friends and family. Even though she seems quite controlling around her husband, you still see them with some nice moments. We also get a few nice moments with her and her daughter as well, showcasing that maybe she's just a little harder on the outside than she is on the inside. Next, we have my personal favorite, Sasha, Noah's brother and Esther's husband. He's very light-hearted, fun, and funny. He adds a real chill comedic element to the show, while still also having some nice meaningful moments. Like in one episode when we see him try and be there for his daughter when she's having trouble. He's definitely a funny match to be paired with Esther, as he is very relaxed and likes to de-escalate the tension within the group. He also seems to develop a bond and small friendship with Morgan. Morgan is Joanne's sister and also does the podcast with her. Morgan is very outgoing and opinionated and has an opinion for just about everything and isn't afraid to tell people just what she's thinking. She can be quite wild and destructive when it comes to relationships, but ultimately seems happy with her life. Why did everyone like the show? Despite the initial fame and pull that the main two actors brought to the show, what else was it about this show that made everyone flock to it? For starters, it is a short, fun rom-com with easy, lighthearted themes while still keeping it fairly fast-paced. It's very well-rounded, making it easy for anyone to watch and enjoy. It's fresh and new and shows more than just the classic love story. It shows the development and the ins and outs of relationships. The show outlined the big and small problems within relationships, from having an ick to finding ex's belongings to being accepted into each other's families. The show gives us a fresh, realistic, relatable take on relationships in a very mature and respectful way. It showcases all the topics and ups and downs that come into a new relationship. Big things such as like the getting to know one another, the acceptance of family and friends, and the difference in each other's lives, to outlining the little problems in relationships, like if they have the same sense of humor. There's one example when Joanna sends a text not long after they share their first kiss, and the text reads something like, "That kiss was so good, you got me pregnant." And when Joanne shows it to her sister Morgan, she freaks out at her, thinking that Noah's not going to understand that it was a joke. When Joanne is like, "No, it'll be fine," but the more she thinks about it, the more nervous she gets. It ends up working out, however, because the next time that Joanne sees Noah, he makes a joke about it, and she gets comfort in knowing that he understood what she was meaning. It was a very small but relatable thing that comes into a relationship, as we all can probably relate to sending an embarrassing text at one point and then completely regretting it. Another small factor that can come into a relationship can be the ick. The ick is something that your partner does that gets you slightly irritated, which then leads you to getting more irritated over every little thing that they do. And it can be like a big thing that they do that's annoying, or it could be something very small and minute. In Joanne's situation, it came when Noah was trying to impress her parents. Joanne made it clear to Noah that he did not need to fuss about meeting her parents. Noah, however, still felt it was the right thing to do and went out of his way to make a good impression. It started with Joanne not liking his clothing. Then it moved on to where she was annoyed with flowers he brought. Then she started to get annoyed with the way that he interacted with the parents. She just got the ick, and after he did one thing wrong, every little thing that he did seemed to just annoy her more and more. Her sister noticed it and told her that once you're in the ick, you cannot get out of it, and that she may need to even break up with Noah. However, Noah seemed to notice the whole time that something was off and pulls Joanna aside to ask her about it, proving that there is a way to get over and work through the ick. These examples are just small things that you may come across when starting a new relationship. There was also small things that we don't always see represented in shows very often, and it was nice and refreshing seeing the mature way that main characters handled and worked through the situations. Another big reason why everyone liked the show is due to its fun, fresh, relatable humor. Whether it be a joke or just the characters' witty banter, it was always enjoyable with its relatable, light-hearted humor. In conclusion, Nobody Wants This is just a short, good, fun, funny, light-hearted show. It is understandable why it is so relatable, popular, and growing. The show had a lot of interesting storylines that touched on unique concepts and conversations in relationships. There was great chemistry between the two leads, fun side characters, funny dialogue, and relatable drama. Doesn't matter who you are, you can connect with the show. Season 2. The final episode, Joanna tells Noah that she wants to change her faith. Noah, being head rabbi, is thrilled with the news. Once Joanne realizes, however, that it is more than a belief, it is also a way of life. She feels this is a lot and tells Noah that this may not work. Noah, however, goes after her anyway, telling her that he may not have both, but she is the priority and the rest will work itself out. Are we getting a season 2? Yes, Netflix has officially confirmed season 2 of Nobody Wants This. Season 2 should be released sometime in 2025, with most, if not all, the cast returning. Theories and wonders for season 2. First, I want more Sasha. I really enjoyed his character. He was just very fun and down to earth, so I would like to see more scenes with him, maybe with his daughter or even with Esther. He was just a fun time to have around on screen. What's going to happen to Sasha and Morgan's relationship now that Esther knows about it? And was it ever a good relationship? Will Morgan have more storylines next season? Perhaps get a love interest herself. Could lead to them changing up their podcasts and Morgan understanding Joanna more now that she's in a relationship herself. I'm interested to see if we're going to get more Esther. She may not be very likable or anyone's favorite character, but I still found her very interesting and intriguing. Initially, upon meeting Esther, she had a very heavy and mean side when it came to Joanne, but she has a very loving and protective side when it comes to her family. So who is she really? What's going to happen with Joanne and Noah? Will Joanne and Noah's parents finally find middle ground, as they did not take a liking to each other this season? Will Noah leave his church, or will Joanne finally decide to convert? Or will Noah find a way to have both his religion and Joanna? We'll have to wait and see. That is all for this episode. As always, everything we discussed will be linked below along with my socials. Please be sure to like, subscribe and follow. Feel free to leave all your thoughts and comments below. Thanks for listening.